So I got a brand new favorite gun in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Welcome back, my friends, to another video here on the channel. Today, like I said, I got a brand new favorite gun. I'm gonna show you guys what it is. I'll show you guys some gameplay. It's pretty epic. I just love this gun. But if you guys are new, like I said, stick around for more. We do variety gaming content here on the channel. It's always a great time. Not doing any face cam for this one. Pretty long day. I'm pretty exhausted. I'm trying to convince you guys that I'm not, which is the commentary. Besides, you got to see the guns in its full glory. So this is my setup right now, by the way. I've been running Dead Silence, which has been a lot of fun. Obviously, just some controversy about it being a field upgrade. I've been saying that, you know, field upgrade instead of under the perk package makes more sense. Unless it was the old perk system, then it'd be better as a perk. Anyways, this is what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and check it out. So this is going to be the beta version. So hopefully you guys leveled up far enough in order to unlock this thing. It's basically your first blueprint. So if we go ahead here and we go under assault rifles, at the very end we have a hidden gun. It's the TAC, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's TAQ, TAC 56. Now if I go ahead and select it, you can see that there's the beta version. So there's the base version and then the beta version. The beta version is basically it's a blueprint, right? And you can see what the blueprint does. The blueprint gives you a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more range, and a little bit more handling, which is super nice. This gun absolutely shreds, guys. It is so much fun. Again, you're going to be seeing gameplay up on screen as well. It is a really fun gun to use. And it's just really good, and it's my new favorite gun for a couple different reasons, and I can explain that as you guys can see some of the work that this gun does. So if you don't know what gun this basically is, because it's a rename, it's essentially the Scar. For the most part, it's essentially the Scar H from, you know, old Modern Warfare games. So that's one reason why I think I'm getting so attached to it, because the Scar was always one of my favorite guns back in the day in other Call of Duty games. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I have equipped in terms of the attachments, at least the attachments for this blueprint, if you will. And then we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards as well. But first, the gun itself. This setup, it handles so well. It handles so well because it's very light. It's not like one of those heavier ARs, right? Like the M4 feels a little bit heavier. This feels a little bit lighter than the M4, which I like. It's a little bit quicker. Now it's still slower, obviously, than an SMG. It's still an AR, so it's going to be slower than, you know, than you know, other classes like that are a little bit lighter. But obviously, being an AR, it's of course lighter than an LMG, obviously. Obvious, right? But within the AR category, and I guess you could throw in the battle rifles in there as well, because I've been using a lot of the battle rifles. Also, I've been using a lot of like the Lockman battle rifle and the F-TAC. Those are kind of the two. Lockman 7.62 and the F-TAC Recon, which is a sub version of the M4. If you will. And then of course the Lockman, very similar to the Lockman AR as well, because as you go through you know, progressing weapons, you unlock like all these other versions of them within like it's almost like a skill tree, right, in the new gunsmith, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome. So all that to say, it's very light, it's very quick to use in terms of AR. So it has that AR range, whereas, you know, obviously if I'm moving around, you know, if I want a quick gun, normally it would be like an SMG, like the Lockman sub I've been using a lot of, for example, right? Lockman sub has some decent range out of all the SMGs that I've tried so far. But it's still an SMG, and it's not going to get the same kind of range that you're going to get with something like the you know, the ARs. So that's one big reason I love this gun in particular. Now there is the Kostov 74U, right, which is basically the AK-74U. I don't know why they keep renaming these guns. Maybe it's legal reasons, I don't know. But the Kostov 74U is a really fun gun to use. I love it. Like I said, I've always loved the AK-74U, and so, you know, this one feels maybe a little bit closer to an SMG. And that's kind of the thing, though, right? This gun could kind of pass off. It's under the AR category, but it could pass off for an AR or an SMG. And that's kind of the problem with this gun, is that it's not going to have quite the same kind of range. I mean, technically speaking, if you kind of bounce back and forth between the 74U and the TAC 56, technically speaking, it has very similar range. The range is very, very similar between the two, for the most part. But one of the things that the base, and I'm talking about the base gun, right? Before you start throwing on all these attachments. But the TAC 56 has better accuracy and way better recoil control. So like pretty significant, actually better accuracy and a lot better recoil control, like a lot better. So that is a huge plus right there. But then, like I said, you start throwing on all those attachments and stuff, and you nick up the range a little bit, like at least, you know, from this blueprint that I'm using. It's kind of a win-win in that sense, right? So anyways, all that to say, what are rather the attachments that I'm using with this blueprint? So if you're wondering what attachments are on it, well, you can't actually look. It doesn't let you build it for some reason because it's a blueprint, right? But all that to say, if we go ahead and we go grab a different version, we can see some of the different attachments that we could get. Actually, you know what? I can't build that weapon either. For some reason in the beta, you can't build it. I thought you could. That's my bad. I know. I got you guys' hopes up. Hey, you know what attachments you got on this weapon, man? I guess we're gonna have to wait till the full game because for some reason in the beta, we can't see. What we can see though is that the base weapon reads that it's a high fire rate, combat flexibility. It's a full auto rifle chambered in a 5.56 by 45 millimeter. And then if we go ahead for the frontal impact, like I said, it switches out the stock. The stock is, I think, probably the main thing. So if we kind of bounce back and forth between the two versions, you can kind of get a little bit of an idea what's different. So the stock is the big thing. The stock is a little bit smaller, so I'm assuming it's a little bit lighter. They also throw on like an optic on the top there as well, which is very, very useful. Of course, you got like a skin on it as well. The front sight, which would be the iron sight, obviously is kicked down because you're using an optic, so you don't need that iron sight up there as well. And then you got like an underbarrel kind of grip as well. Don't know what kind. The magazine looks similar, but the blueprint one has a little bit of tape around it, so I'm not really sure what changes there. The muzzle's a different color, or the barrel rather, excuse me. The barrel's a different color, so I'm assuming the barrel is something else, but I don't know what it is. And the muzzle itself, I believe, is probably the exact same thing. And then the foregrip is also a little bit different. It's a little bit bulkier, so I guess you get a little bit more kind of handle on it. I mean, again, I'm just kind of spitballing what I think is kind of the difference in these attachments. We can't really see the stats, but that's what I assume. Anyways, like I said, it's my new favorite weapon as of right now. It's going to be my favorite weapon when the full game comes out. I have no idea. When the full game comes out, anything can happen. The whole meta could be completely different. They've already changed the meta. I mean, we're earning with the new perk system, we're earning our bonus and ultimate perks a lot faster now. I don't know exactly, I haven't tested it yet, but it seems like maybe double the time as of right now. And again, they're just testing it out and they want people's feedback. I think it should stay this way personally, but anyways, I guess time will tell. But like I said, when a full game comes out, we're gonna have to kind of dig into all this, and maybe I'll have a new favorite weapon. Well, we don't know. But as of right now, as of the kind of conclusion of the beta, which is kind of, we got to wait a little while to actually play the full game. This has become my new favorite gun. A little bit late, obviously, kind of like last second to finally start, ripping with this gun. But hey, at least I got to play with it a little bit. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have you tried it? What is your favorite weapon, at least as far as the beta goes? And what do you think of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? The new one, 2022. I got mixed thoughts. We could talk about that in a different video. We're not going to take up this video for that, but mixed thoughts. I think it has a lot of potential, but I think it also has, a lot of potential to do good or bad, really. It could flop, or it could be a solid game. It depends what the devs do and how much feedback they actually listen to. So that's it for me. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys soon in another one. Tell them, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.